Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to our latest webinar. This time with a marketing focus, and we will see how to use an email signature management system to drive more sales. I'm Pedro Stein, Business Development Manager for Gsignature, and I work with our clients across the continent of America or the Americas to help them get the most out of our solution. And today I'm here to show you how to use an email signature platform in a more strategic way, right? So we are Gsignature, and that's exactly what we do. I'll briefly walk you through our services after we look at a few cases, and I also share some exclusive offers for attendees to this webinar at the end. So here's what we'll cover today. First, we'll look at the invisible problem most of companies overlook regarding email signatures. Then we will see the opportunities that emerge once you solve this problem, this invisible problem, as they say. And I'll give you a quick overview of Gsignature as an email signature management platform. After that, we'll go through some real examples of, I will say, poor signatures that actually can hurt your business. And then I'll give you a live demo so you can see the platform in action. And following that, I'll walk you through a set of strategies that you can use to increase sales once you have a signature management platform in place, like Gsignature, or not, and if you are willing to make all of this manually. But I think that will be a lot of work, but you can. This set of strategies will be with a generic focus, so you all can use those. And we'll wrap up with the concrete benefits you can expect from Gsignature, including a clear ROI, return of investment. I don't know if you say ROI breakdown. And finally, I'll share what we offer in terms of service and support to help you get there. But first, let's talk about that invisible problem I mentioned. On the left of this slide, you can see the main areas where companies typically run into trouble when they don't have a signature management system in place. And on the right part of the slide, you can see some specific, as they call it, pain points, right? But to put it simple, when you don't have a system that lets you, I will say, efficiently manage every signature across your organization, your brand image takes a hit. You end with thousands of signatures, all with different layouts, inconsistent visuals, I'm sorry, or just poorly designed ones, right? Compliance is another big one. Without a centralized control, there's no way to how do I put it, to ensure every signature includes the legal information it should, right? Here's something else we see often. Companies try to solve this internally by having IT handle email signatures, usually through, I don't know, Microsoft Exchange or Microsoft Exchange or Microsoft 365 policies. The problem is that type of solutions eat up expensive IT hours, and the result is rarely as robust as what a purpose-built cloud platform can deliver at a fraction of the cost also. And on top of that, homegrown solutions are usually hard to maintain, I mean, error-free over time. And finally, without a full-feature cloud platform, I'm sorry, you're really just getting a bare minimum signature. The real value of using a specialized solution like Gsignature isn't just getting the signature right. It's about unlocking additional capabilities that can go far beyond that. So now let's look at some real horror stories, as we like to call them, signatures that we see way too often, and hopefully no one here feel called out. So let's take a look at the first one. This one is the one we like to call the good intentions. the well-intentioned signature. This person, they made sure to include the company logo, some sort of thoughtful quote to show some of his or her own personality. They specified that their phone number is text only, included a personal email address just to give people more ways to reach them. And they even added links to both company and personal social media accounts. But no, this isn't what we're looking for, right? They really tried, but it does not reflect well on a professional organization. And just so you know, all of the signatures I'm about to show you, including this one, are real. I mean, these are actual signatures that have come to us or been shared with us by people like you, like friends or colleagues or clients. We've just simply anonymized, can you say that? Anonymized them, changed the names to random ones, and swapped out the company name, things like that. But these are real signatures, actually. So now let's look at something similar, a bit more polished, from someone who genuinely wants to help drive sales to their company. This is someone who just watched, I don't know, a few YouTube videos on how to boost sales, maybe. And maybe they even heard about G-Signature banners, but figured they could just do it fine on their own. No cloud service needed or whatsoever. So what did they do? They went to the company website, took a screenshot of the homepage, cropped out the promo banners, and pasted them right into their signature. But now, to be fair, they even made sure their role and department were clearly visible, and picked a name color that kind of matches the company brand. Again, those are like good intentions, but no. Not only does this look, how do I put it, unprofessional, it's also completely non-functional. Those banners aren't clickable, and there's no way to track anything, right? So it's a nice try, great intentions, but still not the way to go, I would say. And there's the thing, without a centralized system, a lot of users, especially in sales, are going to try stuff like this on their own because they genuinely want to sell more and earn bigger commissions. So they are motivated to try to improve their signatures. Now, let's take a completely different scenario. This is what happens when someone follow orders. They put a signature because their manager or supervisor told them to, but they have absolutely zero interest on it. And I mean, it's fair. This one is pretty classic. This guy, as I said, random name, SAC manager probably said, hey, just copy my signature and put your own info in it. And he did, or at least he tried. What likely happened is he copied it from Outlook Web and pasted it into something like Outlook Express or Thunderbird or whatever. According to our dev team, this is what happens when the email client strips out all the styling, like the CSS, I think, and you're left with plain broken HTML, right? Now, SAC might say, not my problem. It looks fine on my end, the classic one. I'm not an IT. I've got other things to do, right? And honestly, he's not wrong. And you can expect everyone or every employee to be a tech expert or have the design instincts of a marketing pro, right? So here's the thing. If you look closely, almost everything is there. His contact info, even the legal disclaimer at the bottom, but the technical execution just isn't easy for everyone. In fact, I bet that if someone clicked the phone number or email link on this signature, it will still be, I think it will still route to the original manager's or supervisor's contact info. And well, you know, this happens way more often than any of us would like to admit, right? Those type of errors. He's not a technical guy, tech guy, so it's understandable. But anyway, let's move to something a little less painful. So this next one is so close, almost got it. This signature actually has the right design. The information is correct. At first glance, it looks fine, but if you look closely, it's just an image. This is something IT sometimes sets up directly through email policies most of the time. Based on who's sending the email, the system automatically detects it and appends the image IT assigned to that user. It can even work like server side from any email client, that's fine. And to be fair, from an IT perspective, this is a valid solution. I mean, it's efficient, right? But unfortunately, it doesn't work the way we need to. If someone opens this email on a mobile device with a dark mode enabled, so let me show it to you. For example, in this one. Let me show you. A personal email, actually. Not a personal one, I will just open a random one. So yeah. This doesn't have any personal information. No, like this one, right? So I'm showing this on my camera for those watching the stream because I don't know if you can see my little webcam there. This signature just looks like a tiny white rectangle at the bottom. And responsiveness, in relation to the responsiveness, forget it. I mean, on mobile, it's practically illegible is the word I'm trying to find. Illegible. You can't read it. And there's also no way to click or tap anything. You can tap to call the person or tap their email to send a message because it's all one flat image, right? And forget about dynamically adding or updating elements across, I mean, hundreds or thousands of signatures, like, I don't know, promotional banners or tailoring layouts based on who you're emailing, for example, stuff that you can do with Gsignature. So yes, technically it works, but functionally it's a poor experience and it doesn't look good across devices and platforms. I will dare to say a cheap fix for a complex problem. Okay, so and now my personal favorite, the Rockstar signature. This signature is very common among managers and head of departments. Often, these are people who feel constantly bombarded by sales reps and like trying to track down their contact info via emails, that they sometimes catch in forwards or stuff. So their solution, just disable or delete their email signature entirely. Every time they send an email, they sign off manually, usually just their initials, to keep it fast and share as little information as possible, right? So, ironically, their name is still right in their email address, so, right, yeah. And sure, some of them also do it to protect or to project an air of importance, right? Their executives, their managers. Plus, they don't typically communicate directly with external clients, so why worry about brand consistency, right? But here's what's easy to forget about this. Many emails from executives land right in the inboxes of board members. And board members, shareholders, technically, they're not part of the company entirely. They're owners, yes, but they also own stakes in other companies. They're constantly evaluating the business, deciding how much to invest in the next investment round, I think it's called. So it's not accident that companies pour massive resources into their annual reports, book-sized documents showcasing like every achievement. And who's the audience? You guessed it, the board. Those shareholders, the ones that sometimes receive these emails. So why would managers or head of or some other high executives be exempt from that same level of care. Now, I get it. It's not ideal for a manager's signature to broadcast all their personal contact details, right? But that's exactly why you use a signature management system. You can, for example, automatically give them a stripped down signature, just their name, the company logo, and I don't know, well, the legal disclaimer. That's one simple example. That's something super easy to do with a signature management system. So yeah, all right. Enough of horror stories. Let's shift gears You said, and talk about what you can do when you manage signatures the right way. How to get real results, strengthen your brand, and actually help drive sales. Now, let's say you already have a signature management system in place across your company. Everyone's signature is automatically apply, done, right? Well, that's really just the first step, actually. Once you have a system like G-Signature, for example, and yes, I'm biased. How do you pronounce that? Biased, but I generally recommend it. There are certain outcomes you should be aiming for. Key performance indicators, KPIs, if you will. First and foremost, your how do you say is based your baseline standard should be that your brand image is always correct and consistent. It should always look good, stand out, and reinforce your company seriousness, professionalism, I think is the word. Second, every single piece of information in every signature should be 100% accurate. 24/7, I mean, no outdated job titles, no typos in phone numbers, no broken links when someone clicks, or how do you call it, not click, taps in your phone number, for example. Everything always must be correct. And here's where it gets interesting in the third point. Once you solve the basics, centralized control, you, as I said at the beginning, you unlock a very large, a huge opportunity. Every single email leaving your organization, that, like the ones on the image here, now has a dedicated, like, a space, real estate, if you want to call it that way, at the bottom. A built-in ad space. This is especially powerful for companies with sales teams. Every outbound email is a potential sales opportunity, as you already know. And not just from sales, actually. Support, post-sales, even internal emails too. There are situations where it's awkward to ask certain roles to actively sell or send a message for internal communications, for example. But if your signature system supports banners, ideally automated or scheduled, suddenly you've got a new conversion channel. I mean, zero extra effort from those employees using them, right? And obviously, G-Signature does this, but I'll get to that in a moment. And finally, a signature management system must save you time and money, period. Whatever it's IT hours or HR hours, it has to translate into real savings. If you implement a system and end up spending more, whether because it's overpriced, requires too much internal upkeep, or needs constant external help, or it's something you are doing with your IT department that is sometimes each hour is very expensive, something's wrong. A corporate email signature solution should always be a net gain in both time and cost. So, all right, now let's take a look at what this signature actually offers. Just 2 slides, I promise. I won't lose you. This is the first one. The signature is, as you probably guessed, a corporate email signature management platform. It integrates fully with Google Workspace, Microsoft Outlook 365, and even custom systems through we have like tailored integrations if you need it. From a single central dashboard, you can manage every single email signature across your entire organization. Well, you can be using templates, which can be even be customized by department, like by units. So you can make sure that your brand identity is always consistent and on point. And because the signature connects directly to your internal systems, all employee information stays up to date in real time, basically. But it doesn't stop there because we also offer a range of advanced features, like as you already listened in the previous slide, programmable promotional banners, legally compliant disclaimers that are always accurate and always present at the bottom of your signature. You can have mass updatable links and well, your classic social media buttons and meeting scheduler buttons there and everything. And we also offer digital business cards and more on the way. We always roll out new functionalities almost basically every month. It's crazy. And to wrap up this quick overview, let me share you the core principles that basically guide everything we built in GSignature, at GSignature, and the objectives behind every feature that we roll out every month. So, at the heart of GSignature is the concept of digital identity. We're super committed to providing all the tools necessary to ensure that both your companies and your users' digital identities are always like flawless and easy to manage, obviously. And that's why we focus on those 4 key pillars. First, we always aim to perfect visual consistency every time across every signature. That's one of our main objectives. Second, continuously developing a native conversion channel right within this digital identity area space. I'm talking, of course, at this moment about our banners, right? Third, we're always making sure management is highly efficient and scalable. Whether you have like 20 employees or 20,000, we always aim for the managing that to manage everything centrally should be just as fast as seamless. And finally, we always aim to reduce the risk of user error. With our platform, you can how do you say, you fine tune permissions for each user or group, from full editing freedom to complete lockdown, where users can do anything except watch the correct signature appear automatically at the end of every of their emails, no matter what you do. What's the word? Layer 8 errors gone, as the cool kids say. Layer 8, right? Or 9? 8, I think is the word. All right. So enough of self-promotion. Let's get to the good stuff. Now we're going to look at some real strategies you can implement with a signature management system. Specifically, we're talking marketing, and more specifically, how to use banner ads in email signatures, because not all banners are created equals, as somebody said recently. So let's start with the first and most popular strategy, I think. And this is cross-selling, right? A cross-sales banner is designed for sales teams who are already in conversation with customers, helping them promote complementary products without interrupting the flow of the original sale. Because let's be honest, pushing sales reps to constantly upsell or cross-sell in this case can be quite stressful. and it can even damage the customer relationship if it feels like forced, right, or pushed too hard. So with banners, you can drive those additional sales more in a more passive way, passively. So no awkward pitches, no disruptions. You just schedule the banners, and customers will ask on their own, like, "Hey, what's that in your banner? It sounds interesting, right?" So I'll jump ahead to something I'm covering at the end of this presentation. The CTR on those banners is significantly higher than what you typically see in like open campaigns like social media or search ads. Yeah, I mean, sure, the volume of impressions is much smaller. I get that, but it's still a validated high intent conversion channel. I think it's the word. Um, yeah, in the chat they say they understand me. Thank you very much. My personal CTR, actually, I can share it with you, has never dropped below 13%. And I'm not even dedicating like 1% of my emails to sales, right? So, well, and that's because I usually talk to corporate clients, so it's easier for me. But it's a good CTR, right? So now let's move to the next strategy. It's very similar, but with a different customer focus, I think. And this is post-sales. And this is very different actually from selling. Here we are targeting customers who already purchased something. They receive the product or service, and the transaction is already complete. It's done. So this is about re-engaging clients after the sale. It's specifically effective for onboarding teams like us or customer success managers who already are in touch with the new clients. So when the customer is happy and engaged, there's a clear opportunity to introduce like new or additional value, and yes, to keep selling, right? So with post-sales banners, the sale doesn't end with the frontline rep. Can you say that? Frontline rep, the first sales rep. It extends like across roles and different touch points, expanding like the surface area of new opportunities, like the advertising surface area. I think I can say that. So definitely not one to overlook. Now let's look at something that sits, I would say, right between the two strategies. So these two strategies we just covered, and is upselling. Because upselling also happens during the initial sales process, just like the initial one, I mean cross-selling. But here the goal is to get the customer to upgrade to a better version of the product, or expand like the what's the word? Expand the scope of the service they are considering. Take this example. A sales rep at the example here in the image. A sales rep at a fashion distribution company is closing a deal with, it says contact, with a retail client, okay? At the same time, the banner in her email, if you understand, this is in Spanish, but it's just an example. It's the same text that are at the left side of the screen. The banner is promoting a newly released collection of abrigos, coats, something she might not typically sell to this client during this session, right? So it's a good help. An upselling banner helps her to increase the deal value without forcing her to push harder into on a customer who might be like teetering between walking away and closing, right? That's a super risky area. Sales reps will almost always avoid risking that critical moment. So a subtle banner does the work for them. No pressure, no awkwardness. Is that word? Awkwardness. So yeah, it's a very useful thing, this type of banners. So let's move on to a few bonus scenarios, I would say, cases that aren't directly about selling. You will see. Here's a great example. This is a great example, I think, for technical support. So here we are using banners to support your technical support team. Honestly, I only learned about this case, I think December, like a few months ago, from a long-time client, and I found it quite fascinating. The idea is super simple. You reduce the support workload by like proactively pointing users to the right direction to self-service like resources, right? So because okay, much of support time is spent answering like the same basic questions, right? If you work in that area, you know how to I do X, where to find Y, why C is not working. And lots of those tickets could be avoided if users had easy access to the right resources. So by placing like this type of banners in email signatures, like for example, like the examples here, promoting training sessions, pointing to documentation, offering what else? Yeah, well, certification courses, discounts, or even inviting users to webinars like this one. You kind of gradually shift those routine inquiries away from your support team, so that frees them up to focus on what actually matters, like more complex issues from other customers who genuinely need help, right? So it's a win-win. Customers save time too, and money in the case of paid support plans or paid tickets. So yeah, everyone benefits. I personally found this one particularly compelling. And along those same lines, here's another use case. This time focused on continuous improvement. Yeah, continuous improvement. When it comes to continuous improvement, we're talking about using email signature banners to ask for feedback, service evaluation, or I don't know, product as idea, feature request, you name it. So this is especially powerful for companies that regularly have like tough conversation with customers. Take what's the word? It's not charge, is collection agencies, for example. If an agent spends like 20 emails with an angry customer, and then in the same interaction has to write something like, by the way, would you mind rating my service? You already know how that survey is going to turn out, right? And this happens a lot. Many companies in collections, insurance claims, or other like high friction industries have just like kind of normalized consistently low survey scores, right? But that's a problem actually. That's not correct, because it like hides or buries real opportunities for improvement under like a pile of predictable red numbers, right? So if you have that normalized, you have to correct that. Now imagine this: the agent focuses entirely on the conversation, on like de-escalating, on solving the problem. Meanwhile, a simple banner at the bottom of their emails invites the customer to share feedback, like calmly in a separate space with no pressure. No ask from the same person who just delivered the bad news or the difficult request, right? So suddenly, responses are more thoughtful, more balanced, and the insights you get, well, I would say that those would be much more useful, right? So, and of course, for company that don't operate in high stress environment, even better. So you're just making it easier for happy customers to tell you what's working. So now let's look at another angle, tailoring banners based on who you are emailing. So this is customer classification. Some companies have different tiers of customers, right? Like VIPs, for example. With a system like the signature, you can actually condition banners based on who you are emailing. So smooth segue, right? But it's true. So for instance, any email sent to, I don't know, something at our vipcustomer.com email address, can automatically display a different banner, maybe offering exclusive products, or I don't know, like early access promos only to our top tier clients, for example. Or you could flip it the other way around, target non-VIP customers with upgrade offers, like the example you have here. So blending this approach with upselling or post-selling strategies, but now with precision targeting based on like customer types. So that's interesting. Oh, by the way, because I'm reading some questions about it. The banners you're seeing in this mockup are just examples. They are fictional, so designed to give you like a visual sense of how these strategies might look in action. The decks there are basically the same on the ones to the left side of the slide, so don't worry. Don't worry if you don't understand the language. Are the same phrases. So okay, now the banner type I personally think is the most common of all. This is actually the one that brings most prospect to the signature, I would say, in the first place. Like, do you have this feature? Yes, of course we do. We wouldn't show it otherwise. These are the seasonal or campaign specific banners. I don't think this one needs too much explanation. It's what I call the most basic entry-level use case for an email signature management system with banner capabilities, at least, like the signature. And you simply schedule like banner based on time of the year, or align them with specific products or service campaigns. Marketing tell you what's coming, you scale it, and you're done. It works. It's easy to manage. I think everyone in the organization understands it. So yeah, what more could you ask for, right? It might not be the most sophisticated strategy out there, but it's where most companies start. And honestly, it delivers solid, respectable CTRs. So let's circle back to sales, but this time with a more subtle approach. So this is what some people call soft sales, but really it's just brand positioning, right? This strategy is about using email signatures as space to reinforce your brand presence and perception. It's not about driving an immediate sale. It's about like cultivating the right brand image across your audiences. From I mean from customers to board members, as I said before. For customers, this means banners announcing like upcoming product lines, for example, new service capabilities, or recent office openings, branches and stuff. Nothing that necessarily converts today, but everything that shapes how your brand is perceived over time. Some of our clients, for example, refresh their banner design periodically, just to keep the brand feeling current and like intentionally current. So it's brand building, one email at a time, as they say. And on the other side, remember those managers or high position executives like that email board members. So this is where that comes back into play. With brand positioning banners, you can highlight like company wins, right? Like showcase key results, or you can, I don't know, announce major milestones and stuff. So it's a subtle but powerful way to reinforce, to induce confidence and credibility with your brand. So a managed signature platform isn't just about like having a minimum standard in signatures, because it can like actively like elevate your brand. So now let's move to our final use case, if I'm correct. The next one is using email signatures banners for internal communications, because this isn't just for companies talking to external recipients, clients. It's also really valuable for organizations that want to like improve internal communications. So for internal communications, email signatures can be super useful for like, I would say, gentle, persistent reminders, the kinds of thing you don't want to like nag people about in every single message, but still need to keep that in top of mind. For example, think on I don't know, upcoming all hands meetings, deadline reminders for quarterly reports, or encouraging like employees to book the time off before the end of during the working hours, for example. It's also great for broadcasting like ongoing organizational changes or cross departmental announcements, things that need to reach everyone, basically, but you don't want to justify a company-wide email every single time. So I will tell you about a real example. This one comes from a shopping center, not from Chile, in case my accent made you wonder, where they were significantly behind on migrating their systems, their sales reporting systems. They needed before they needed retail executives to constantly remind the stores they managed to submit their weekly or bi-weekly, I think it was, sales data. So eventually they finished the integration with each store's ERP, but in the meantime, the only way to get data was through manual follow-ups, like each week. It was crazy. So they set up like rotating banners. So from Friday to Monday, I think it was, store executives' email signatures automatically displayed a reminder that said something like, don't forget to submit your sales or something like that. And since Friday was when most executives were already in touch with their stores to prep for the weekend, it was very naturally, it fit naturally into the existing workflow, right? And over time, they saw like measurable improvement in the reporting KPIs, right? So anyway, the point is, banner space isn't just for marketing. It's a I would say real legitimate channel for operational or internal comms too, right? So remember earlier when we talked about Gsignature, what Gsignature aims to achieve? Those pillars didn't come out of like thin air. They emerge over time from goals, of our own clients that they develop through real world use. And they really come down to this, I think. First, you have to keep your corporate image flawless. Whether you're rolling out brand like refresh or simply using the right tools to create like clean, visually consistent signatures, your brand should always look its best. Second, keep your information accurate and up to date, and go beyond the basics. Use your signatures to communicate things you couldn't easily surface before, like out of office notices, for example, updated contact details, role change, all in real time. Third, you must actively use this new conversion channel, like the banners. Every email is an opportunity. So if you're not using it, you're leaving money on the table, like for real. And finally, I would say foster collaboration across your organization, because signature management isn't just an IT or marketing initiative. It involves sales, customer success, HR, operations. When I would say that when different areas work together, the signature becomes like a strategic asset, not just a feature, right? And also let me show you the platform real quick before going to the last part of this webinar, so you can see how this works. I think this is the most interesting part about it. So I think you can see my screen. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so this is what you see when you just sign up. You will receive like a trial period. I think now it's set up to 7 days. I think I can extend it if you need it. First thing you will do is your onboarding. The onboarding is super simple. That's why I will show you how it works here. Just 30 seconds. You click here, and then it will take you to integration. And if you use Google Workspace, you click here. And if you use Microsoft solutions, you click here, you give permission to the app, and that's it. And it's always highly recommended that you also make the server-side configuration. So you just click here, follow the instructions. It's super simple. Just copy and paste some data in your Google Console or Microsoft, and that's it. Usually it takes around 15 minutes tops. And when you finish it, you will see all your employees here. So here I will start showing you some stuff that is very interesting about how gSignature works. Many things in gSignature, you can do it in different ways. So for example, here, you can just manage your employees' information through your integration from Google Workspace or Microsoft Office 365, for example. But here you also could edit your users one by one. For example, this is Mr. Test. You can change all of their data. And here also, this is a bonus track, a bonus thing. You can download a background like the one you saw me at the beginning of the webinar. This background where the ones are looking at the recorded version and not looking at my background. So let me show you real quick how this looks. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this is a background you can download to use in your video calls. And if you scan this QR code right now, like I'm talking to you, scan it, you will see my digital card. That is, by the way, the colors of this background and the logo is taken automatically from your company. So here it looks kind of orangey because that's the color of gSignature. So you will, if you scan it, you will see something like this. No, not like this, like this. I'm sorry. This is my digital card. Well, this is the Spanish version, but you scan it and you will see this. So here, if you click digital card, it will take you to this part. Here you can download this QR code and include it in your designs for a lanyard, for example, lanyard card. So if you go to an event, a trade fair or something, people can scan it and visit this thing, and they can click your links and everything. So this is super, super useful. Anyway, you can edit your employees' data here, or if you have thousands of employees, you can go to employee management, export a CSV file with like a super big table, edit it, and then import it right away here. And you can edit your users thousands at a time. So you can do it manually, one by one, through your integration or through tables. So you have all the options that you need. And here you can select which of your employees will use gSignature and who will not. So you can control how many users you have active. Then let's see signatures. This is like the most flashy, interesting part. You have three ways of making your signatures. You can do it automatically, as developers like to say. This function, by the way, this tool is available in the gSignature website. Where is it? Here. If you go to, oh, let me change it to English. I'm sorry. If you go to product, I'm sorry, I have a dry mouth now. You can go to where is it? Signature generator. I'm used to the Spanish version when I'm sorry. And you will see the same screen. So here you select the template that you like, for example, this one, or I don't know. Well, this is a demo account and the logo is huge, so it doesn't work very well. Let's say it's this. Look at this. The colors are kind of wonky because this is a demo account with random colors, but let's change it to my official domain here for my dear employers. Is signature, and it will automatically take the official colors from the website, and you can change them here a little bit, but then you can fine tune it with, for example, in options you can set the different colors and everything. You can change it here however you like the information, everything. And when you're happy with this, you just click and install. I'm sorry, this is English. That's way better. Save and install, and you will see your signature appear here. So it could take you like 3 minutes tops. And then that's the easier way to make a signature. The intermediate option is when with the editor. Is what you see is what you get type of editor, and this is basically very similar, a little bit better, I would say, than the ones that you see in other solutions like make your super own signature.com or stuff like that. So it's basically a editor based on tables, super easy to use. Things that are important here, you will see down below here, variables. Here's like a variable library. So as you can see here, I'm not writing username. I mean, my name. I'm writing literally the variable username. So according to which user is using this platform or which user is using the signature, it will appear their own name here. So I'm editing this with this variable. I see my name, but if other person use this signature, they will see their own data. So you have all the flexibility that you want here. And an important part that will come back later is add-ons. As you can see, the banner here and the legal disclaimer is not in the editor. I must select them from here, right? That is for a reason. I will tell you about this in a minute. So you have your signature, edit it however you want, but there's a third way to make this email signatures, and it's by hand, by code. If you have like an IT department that is really into this, or I don't know, a development or marketing agency that wants to create like a super specific design signature, they can create one with HTML, and you just have to make sure they use these variables. They can use this as a library, and that's it. And the signature appears here in the preview. It's functioning. It's that easy. So about add-ons. Add-ons are outside the signature here. Why? Let's say we want to add a banner to some signatures. So I add an image, I put the dimensions, the alternative text for accessibility, the URL, some UTMs, and then you just go to the signatures and select that banner. Why is that important to have that modularized in another part of the dashboard? Why our developers took a lot of time to make it this way is because if you sometimes, for example, let's say you already use this banner, and from the marketing department they say, hey, we forgot something. The UTM source shouldn't be the signature. It should be like email ads or something like that. So you come here, you edit this particular ad, change your UTM, for example, save it, and all the signatures that are using this banner will be updated in real time. So you don't have to edit every single signature one by one. So that's very good practices development type of thing to do, to have everything in different models so you can edit things, like a lot of things at the same time and not repeat yourself, right? And the same happens with disclaimers. Here we have some test stuff. This is a demo account. But for example, in the Gsignature account, we have disclaimers divided by languages and different parts of the world. So my signatures, when I use them here in Chile, have a Spanish version that is adapted to the Chilean legislation, right? So you can have different disclaimers, and you can edit the same. You can edit them, save it, and all the ones that are using that disclaimer will be updated too. So they don't have to you don't have to edit signatures one by one. And the same happen with specific links. You can create links here, add them with a selector to a signature, and then you can update the specific URLs of a link in a signature. So that's powerful. That's super useful. That's a thing you can do. What else? You have image hosting, an unlimited high availability, how do you pronounce that, image hosting. So you don't have to attach your image to your message. Um, have you received those emails when you see a signature, for example, with the logo of the company, and you see the same logo attached to that email? That's because those people created those signatures within email client. So the email client doesn't have its own hosting, so it has to attach the images of the of the signatures to the email. So with this, it does never happen, and it's super easy. You just upload the the image, put a name on it, then copy the link, and you can use it. And also, when somebody receives one of these emails, their server will say, okay, this email has a resource that comes from a different URL. But here, the images will come from the same server, so with the same name on their domain. So you will avoid having emails marked as spam. Because if you use an external service, like you upload your image for free.com or something, and you paste those URLs in your email signatures, you will get marked as spam, and that's not something that we want, right? So next we have programming. We can schedule signatures. So here you can click schedule, and here this is something very interesting. The scheduling system is super easy to use. Let's say, for example, this fictional guy. The logic is you select a starting date, for example, 12th of this month, and you say from that date, this user or this group of users or this branch or whatever will use this signature. And then after, I don't know, a week, in this date, they will go back, but to another signature or the same signature, it doesn't matter, to another signature. And you schedule it. Success. So you can schedule signatures. And why this logic is important? I will cancel it so other people here doesn't get confused. Because that way, if you do everything regarding signatures and not, for example, banners, you can create, like, you can invent your own logics. Because, for example, if you schedule a single banner, if somebody's using that banner and wanted to stay with it, if you schedule the banner, those users will see their banner on their signatures change. So every scheduling you want to make should be made using different signatures. You can, for example, clone a signature, duplicate a signature, change the banner, and then make the scheduling with that other signature. So that gives you the flexibility and the control to make sure your schedulings, your programmings work as you intended. So that's also like a good practice, like it's a clean way to use this type of functions. So this is very powerful. And also we have analytics. We don't have any data here because this is a fake account, but here basically it will show you one employee per row. And in each row, you can expand it to see different signatures, and you have how many people have opened the signature or banner or links or everything together, and how many people clicked on that, and you have your CTR. And here is where I constantly see around 13% of CTR in my personal signature as a business development manager. So this is interesting. Also, you can check all your analytics information in Google Analytics or Microsoft Clarity, whatever you use. So this is like a nice feature to have like a condensed and more focused metrics about your signature here. And what else? Well, let's go to the settings real quick. You can have a different amount. You can add a lot of admins. You can have different domains. So you can have, for example, subdomains for different areas in your company, and you can include them here. You are not like tied to a single domain, or you have different domains for the same company, for the same teams. For example, if you have like my company corp mycompany.com and mycompany.store.com, and it's the same company but a different website, you can add them here and you can have the same signatures for different domains. So that's very powerful too. Here you can adjust the information of your company. This is classic stuff. You can change the database model, I think is the word. This is how your integration is working right now. So in this demo account, we have these 4 fields. Most probably you will have a lot of more, but you can add more fields to your database. So you can expand on top of your integration with Google Workspace or Microsoft 3 or Office 365. So you can add, for example, more different type of phone numbers or links to Calendly or stuff like that. So you can expand it. Here you can create branches. So let's show you here real quick. You can change the branch name, the branch address, phone, branch mail, add new stuff, and select which employees will be on each of those branches. And you can add those details via variables in the email editor. And also, this is a common question because this area is very similar. You can assign signatures to units if you use Google Workspace or groups. For, I don't know, sales team at mycompany.com in Microsoft too. So you can assign signatures to individuals, to groups, to units, and also you can have different type of variables according to branches, not only according to users in each signature. So you have a lot of different options to do different stuff. This platform is super flexible. All the functions are very powerful. That's why we are super proud of it. The development team have been developing this thing from the start, focusing on have the best practices possible of usage and the technical part too. So that's a very good thing. For example, here in advanced, you can fine-tune things like what is automatically synced and what not, and stuff like that. You have, well, here's the integration setup, your billings. This demo account, I have admin, so I see the billing part. And here, for technical people here, you can create all the tokens for using the API that you want. This whole platform is built in a logic of API first, so you can control all the platform via APIs or make your own integrations with different parts of your ERP, for example. And it's super easy. You put your token name, taste one, save. You have your token, your password. You copy it, close it, and you have your token, and that's it. It's super easy to use. And yeah, so you have a lot of ways to do everything that you can imagine here in JSignature. And actually, another thing that I forgot to mention, you can differentiate between external and internal signatures. Let's say, for example, this is my email. Oh, I have an email. Oh, okay. Let's say I will send an email to one of you. This is the signatures I'm using right now, right? But let's say I want to send an email to Marek, our CEO. So I select him, and now it automatically changes to our internal signature that you can set up. Signatures for your internal communications. In our case, we created a signature that is way more simpler because I don't need to communicate so much stuff to our colleagues. Don't even the disclaimers, because those are always internal emails. But if I go back to talk to an external person, it goes back to the original one. See, so that's super interesting. And it also has some other little features that I will close this part right now, but just so you can see, you can have like different messages saved, for example. If you have a sales team that are constantly sending the same messages, you can use this. And also you can force different signatures. For example, let's say, again, I'm writing something to him, and I say, but I want him to see my whole signature. So I just select the whole signature, and that's it. And this extension is also available in Microsoft Office 365, just in case. So yeah, super powerful stuff. yeah, so let's go back to our presentation. Okay. So we have all of those functions and more stuff. Well, I already showed you everything, like additional domains, digital business cards. You can split your signature organization, and you can ask us for custom integrations. So most of these capabilities are already covered during this platform demo, so I won't rehash them here. So now let's talk about our promise, what I promised you earlier, the ROI, ROI, the return of investment calculations. So how do you know if investing in a signature management system like GSignature will actually generate profit, or at least if that's the metric you care about? And since this is a marketing focusing webinar, I'm going to assume it is. Okay. So, return of investment. On this slide, we pulled data from a sample group of insurance companies, primarily based in Europe, if I recall correctly. This represents a median company, around 1,700 users and an IT hourly cost of 75 euros, and an average revenue per customer of about like 200 euros per month. Now, here's the key. We capped the click-through rate at 5%. Where's my cursor so I can show you? Here. This number you see right here. We kept that that CTR to 5%. In reality, for this type of company, like insurance company, CTR usually lands between like starting from 13% to 13% to 15% or something like that. But we always cap everything at 5% in our modeling system. It gives us a healthy margin of safety, and it ensures that we're not like over-promising. So that's super important. So we're assuming that the highest CTR is just 5%. That's more for e-commerce, but for the signatures is higher than that. But let's say 5%. So let's take a look at the numbers. Okay, so the monthly cost, this is here, the monthly cost of manually keeping like the 1,700 employee signatures, I keeping them updated. It's around 6,500 euros. GSignature cost for this company around 3,400 per month. So that's an immediate like 64% reduction in IT overhead. That's before we even factor in revenue from banners. So now if we do factor in sales, the other part here, the monthly cost of manually, okay, it's included here. So we assume that we have here a 25 conversion rate on email conversations with an average of 210 outbound emails per user per month. We also account for some remaining IT hours, far fewer than before, but not zero. And the result is a return of investment rate of around 687%. And when combine both cost savings and conversion revenue and everything together, the total return of investment comes in at around this 76% of return of investment. And for this medium-sized company, that's nearly almost 3,000 euros per month that simply wasn't there before. So all from making better use of email signature ad space. And by the way, you can run these numbers yourself. We publish this calculator on our website under the production section here. It's called the ROI calculator. So you can go here, you can put all your data here. You can change it to let's put it in English. USD, for example. You can put your own numbers. And as I said, this is, now where is it? CTR from Signature is capped at 5%, so you don't overpromise to yourself. And you can see how much money you can earn or save using this solution. So, and if you've been wondering about pricing this whole time, because everything costs a little bit in life, here it is. Here it is. Okay. The G-Signature standard plan, or full plan, formerly called premium, but we found out that premium made clients think that it was some kind of luxury tier with unnecessary extras. So we are renaming it to full plan. I'm sorry, is priced at a flat rate I'm sorry, of $1.79 per user per month, and that's it. No base fee, no like hidden costs, just that simple per user price, and that's all. And this plan includes everything, all the features I've shown you today, plus everything we're about to launch actually. Server-side integration for both Google Workspace and Office 365, template design assistance for enterprise-level clients, 34 and 24/7 priority dedicated support, onboarding help and pilot implementation support, everything that you may need. Everything is what it says in the right side of this slide. If you have some unique needs, just ask, right? I can always put together a custom quote, just reach out your trusted business development management, like me, for example. And now I should mention, we do have a lower tier plan. It's called Starter, previously called Basic. It's about half price, but it's really just the core signature functionality. No advanced automation, no server-side integration, no unlimited image hosting. Honestly, that plan competes more with those build your own signature website kind of thing. Some companies use it as a trial, but we already offer like free trials now. So, and I can even extend those. So if that's what you need, just let me know, and I can offer you a extended trial, so you don't have to use like a partial solution. Okay. So now let me share you a few reasons why I personally recommend G-Signature. These points actually come straight from feedback we received from long-time clients, me personally also. First, we're constantly evolving an evolving platform. We are always making new developments. Almost every month we roll out something new. If you follow our blog, you probably noticed that many of our posts highlight the latest feature releases. That's because our development team invests heavily in continuous improvement. So there's always something fresh on the horizon, always. Second, and this is both of these points here in these corners, we have a truly global presence, currently nearly every time zone. So that means you always be assisted by a real person, not AI or anything, by a real person. We have a chatbot, but when you reach to us, you talk to a real person in a one-to-one setting. Someone like me, actually. And finally, our dev team has deep experience in software as a service platforms. And here's something I don't think I mentioned yet. G-Signature isn't a 3-person startup operating out of a garage. We're backed by Mokyuk Group here. Those guys, a digital holding company with nearly like 40 other successful digital projects under its belt. So it's a huge thing. So when you sign with us, you're not just buying a piece of software, your license. You're partnering with a team that has serious institutional experience and stability, right? It's not just a small company. We have some serious support here. So, and now to wrap things up, I'm going to stop the recording right here. For those of you who are watching live the streaming, stick around. We'll move to our Q&A session and keep the conversation going for a bit longer. You know how it is. So this goodbye is really just for those catching the replay later, okay, in that camera. So thank you so much for watching. I truly hope that this gives you some useful ideas for your own strategies. And if you decide to put them into practice with GSignature, even better. We've been more than happy to help make that happen. Keep an eye out for our upcoming webinars. We got a whole lineup planned across different focus areas, technical deep dives, design best practices, copywriting strategies, and stuff like that. So thanks again for your time, and see you at the next one. Bye-bye.